Our second video for students and teachers related to rehearsal techniques for the small ensemble is largely focused on listening skills, intonation, and building leadership within the group. What becomes very apparent when only a small number of players are separated from the large group is that the confidence that comes from playing along with others can sometimes disappear. We have a great advantage, however, in working in small groups where it's actually easier to hear what everyone's playing, so we can work on things like intonation and playing together more accurately. Let's begin with a simple rehearsal process to make everyone feel more secure with their notes and the pitch changes. Prior to starting the work on any particular piece, it's a great idea to get the basic sounds in your ear by playing the scale or the mode that it's based on. This can either be done in time, or the leader can show everyone where to change the notes visually.
Okay, let's do the scale for this section all together. We are in F, but it is Mixolydian mode. I'll lead each note for you. 1, 2, 3.
So after confirming a set of notes, it's important to also see where any accidentals might occur. For this, we need another process to help the players with remembering how to play those important alterations from the basic key. Students should first identify the notes that are marked different from the ones they just played by their scale degree. The number of notes that are in the most scales being 8, the scale degrees increase from 1 to 8 as you ascend. So then each player would indicate what scale degree they have marked with an accidental. All players should play their notes in the scale unaltered and then make the adjustment to either raise or lower the pitch as indicated. If we're not sure the fingering of the note, students can always look it up on a chart or can just experiment to see if they can find that fingering for the new note. But once all the work is done, everyone will have a better understanding of the accidentals and they'll remember when to play it. So here's that process all the way through with a little different key for a section that we'll play in the music.
Okay, so this section is still in F, but we are in the Dorian mode. Let's play that together in whole notes. I'll count up. 1, 2, 3. So from letter G to the end, who has an accidental and what scale degree is it on?
I have a sharp on scale degree 7 sometimes.
Okay, so can we do just that note together? It's up a half step from what we normally would play. Great. Now let's do the scale together, but with that note instead. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now I think we're ready to do the section.
Another great advantage of working with small groups is the ability to work carefully on intonation. The best way to build an awareness of intonation is to use a pitch playing constantly called a drone. Players rehearse their parts in reference to what that drone is sounding. The ears will easily hear when the notes sound in tune or out of tune with each other because of aligning the overtones with the drone. Even if one doesn't understand all the acoustic principles, your natural sensibilities will tell you when it sounds right. An electronic tuner can also be a great asset as you begin to understand how your instrument works, but hearing the music as you play it will be even more helpful. All one needs to know to play in tune is three things: what in tune and out of tune sounds like, how to make an adjustment on your instrument, and to simply care enough to do it. So here's an opportunity for real teamwork within your small group as well. It'll take time for each player to go through their part with the drone to hear intonation issues. And while waiting, students can also listen and help with which notes they hear might be in or out of tune. This can be done simply by pointing a finger up if they hear something that's sharp, or down if it sounds low or that it's okay. Also, you can have a tuning partner with an electronic tuner to help them understand what notes are sounding in and out of tune and pass that information to the player. So here's this process in action. Kayla will play the drone. Then Gabby and Katie Ann will play their parts in turn, and Caroline and Jim will be the tuning buddies.
It looks like the clarinet is sharp on the first notes of the first and third measures when you come in. Is that a bad note on the clarinet?
Yeah, that's one of the hardest to keep in tune. Kayla, can you play your note again, and I'll see what I can do to bring that down.
Gabby, it sounded like your high note in the fifth measure wasn't really lining up. Did you hear that too?
Yeah, it's a pretty sharp note on the flute. Jimmy, can I check that note with your tuner?
Any part can provide the drone. Although it's usually the easiest to have the lowest voice, here Katie Ann will play the drone, and Kayla and Jim will play their parts. Gabby and Caroline will be the tuning buddies this time.
I'll try. That's another hard note to tune. Katie Ann, can you give me that reference pitch again?
Kayla, it all sounded really good except maybe the lowest note.
Right. I noticed that when I played that in the piece with Katie Ann, we don't quite match up.
Once the individual parts are secure with tuning, it's time to play in duets, trios, quartets, before the entire group puts it together again. Working through these various subsets allows everyone to also hear how the music fits together.
Okay, let's start with some duets. Kayla and I will go first. 1, 2, 1. Yeah. Okay, Kayla and Jimmy, why don't you guys go next? I'll count you off. 1, 2, 1. Great. Caroline and Gabby, why don't you guys go next? 1, 2, 1. Okay, I think everybody did a duet, so let's do a trio now. Caroline, Gabby, and Kayla. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, I think we're ready to do it all together. 1, 2, 1.
We'd next like to provide a series of suggestions for how to efficiently use the time for rehearsal, plus build in leadership skills. Everyone will contribute more to rehearsals if they feel a part of the ownership process. Just as important as providing leadership opportunities is the opportunity to also be a cooperative follower when others are given the opportunity to lead. So, our first game, Model 1, is called 3 Strikes and You're Out. Here the leader listens as the group plays and cannot stop the rehearsal until they have 3 spots that they hear the group should work on.
How I feel like when we have shorter notes and in a line together, we can stop them from being crushed. We can space them out and play them lightly. Whenever somebody new comes in, make sure we can all hear that person's entrance and still keep the blend. And then the third thing is that when you have accents, make sure that those are differentiated from the rest of the notes.
Okay, let's try all that.
1,
Game 2 is called Band Jeopardy. What happens in this game is that the leader picks a certain section of the music to play. But when that's completed, then the first person with their hand up is allowed to give the answer, which is a measure number that they've heard something that is worth either complimenting or correcting. They've found one measure. Then another player raises their hand when they feel they know the spot and what is going on that first person heard. But they must phrase their thought now in the form of a question, such as, what is the tuba rushing the tempo? Or, what is beautiful vibrato in the flute? Or, what is style matching problems?
Okay, the section I choose is the beginning through letter P.
Measure O.
What is rushing tuba?
So game 3 is called Everybody Into the Pool. And the leader again here indicates a section of the music to be played. And then, when completed, everyone must offer an idea about how to make that certain section work better.
Okay, let's play letter Q to the end. Gabby, do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. I actually really liked how when we differentiated the 3/4 measures and the 2/4 measures, how for the 2/4, how like the two notes were all very accented and together, and the 3/4 was very light.
Something I heard is I thought the fortissimo at letter Q could have been a little bit louder.
I think, yeah, overall we did really well, but maybe with the 16th rhythms, a bit cleaner articulations between anyone who has it might make it better.
There's a lot of syncopated hits in some of the parts, so just being able to make sure that those are tight together will keep the tempo and flow going.
I actually really liked the balance. I could hear the flute really well, I could hear everyone perfectly.
So these are just a few examples of things that you can do to make your rehearsals fun and allows everyone to participate in more ways than just playing their own part. We hope you found these to be of interest, and we'll give some of them a try when you meet in your small group rehearsals.